Hello everybody, welcome to a new video of Jane's Speed Shop. So this is part 3 of the update of the wiring of my S124 V8 Turbo. So if you're new to the channel, have a look in the right corner for you. You can see my logo and all the other videos of this project and on my channel. Also have a look on janespeedshop.com, link is over here. So last time, the last video, I did an update of the wiring, what I'm busy with, also the Ofgear system and some stuff that I need to build in. I think I was halfway with the wiring. I got everything done now in the engine bay. So I'm going to show you everything, batteries in there. Got almost everything connected, but most things are tested and wired up. So let's have a look. So at first in the engine bay, everything is wired in. Throttle body, last time I needed to do this complete loom, I thought. Also got the injectors and everything wired up. Ignition, fuel pressure regulator, has a temperature and pressure on the fuel. Oil pressure sensor and temperature is a double sensor from Bosch. Crank sensor is done, camshaft sensor is in here, is all done. So I can do sequential ignition and injection. You need both sensors. Electronic throttle body, not tested yet. Have a look, all the vacuum hoses are connected, also boost controller, everything is in, everything is wired in. Also I forgot my oil dipstick, I need to get a new one, so I had to remove the front of the turbo to get it in. It was a whole shitty job to do. Also you can see the dipstick here from the transmission, also forgot that, so it was also another 2 hours to get this in. So all the wires, also got all the two actuators connected. This actuator is connected to an actuator controller in here, and that goes inside to a potentiometer that's also connected to the rear. This one will be connected in between the arm of the front suspension, so I can move this in the car to get the right level. So I tested it and it works. Later on I will, when I have the dashboard in and I got everything connected, I will test all the inputs and outputs, and then I'll show everything, how everything works. So also ethanol sensor is connected because I can run flex fuel. That will be in 2 stages. So the first stage will be done on fuel, this 95 octane, and I want to do E85 later on. So also this is also a thing to do. I got the this is the valve for the intake flaps. And of course this is using a vacuum, but in my car you have not always have a vacuum. This is why there is a non-return valve in here, so it will get vacuum that will go in the normal canisters that are normal also in these cars, the vacuum canister. And if I'm then on the boost, I can still switch the valves in the intake when I'm on the boost, because there is then vacuum left in the canister. I've tested it before installing it. So for the rest, battery is in. I have not yet put power on the ECU because I need to do something on the ground connection. I got a few wires still left to do. This is for example for the temperature of the coolant. That's for the dashboard. The other sensors are all connected because I got this sensor connected over here. This is the coolant for the ECU. And I have some wires left on this side. This is for the starter motor, for example. And then I have oil pressure, and there's another one in it I have all written down, need to do. And I have to connect the starter motor also to get the power wire on and the alternator. That's all the wires that I need to do in the engine bay. So also transmission is all connected. I've done some things maybe different than some other people done, but I have also connected one auxiliary output of the Ofgear that you can use if you're going above 10 kilometers an hour. It will switch this solenoid, and you cannot put it in R or in P. That's also what I used in the last one. That's an original setting. Not everybody uses it, but I'm using it. Also, boost pressure sensor is connected, so it works. I also tested that. Also, I got pedals on the steering wheel, and they also work, if you can see. And it's now in D and we don't have any speed, so it will shift back if I do this very fast. Have a look if I can go to 5th gear. It only shifts me to 3rd. You can always go to 2nd because you can also start from 2nd, but if you go on manual, most of the time you can, I think you can make an input in and that it will start from 2nd gear, but I can also, oh that's the horn of course, also can put it back and it's going really fast. So very nice. I can put it back in, have a look, in auto mode. It's now. So that's all nice, that's all working. The only thing that I need to connect in here, I have to have a look what I'm going to do with this wires. These are all extra. These are some inputs and some ground wires. I have to have a look what I'm going to do with it. Or I can get them out of the ECU, not sure yet. I got on this side, you can see this, have a look where it is. This potmeter is for my suspension level. I will show you that afterwards because I want to order a level valve for it. That's an indicator that I can see what the level is of that. For the rest, everything else is connected. So this is just extra wires. I have to have a look what I'm going to do with it. So looks all pretty good. So also what I've done is removed the tank to the back from the window wipers of the front, also wired it through. So now the water can be pumped to the front. I think the wire is some of the hose is somewhere in here. It's this hose. It needs to be connected. So this is window wiper wash. It needs to go in here somewhere like this. For the rest, headlamps need to go in and tested. Yeah, I think that's most of it. That's it. So next video I'm going to test all the inputs and outputs of the ECU. So ignition and injector, so it's all the right one, throttle body, all that sort of stuff. Also going to test everything and put the last wiring in from the alternator and from the starter motor. Also what I did is, in the back I had a small leak on the level valve. I fixed it. It's now a week ago. It's still on this level. It stays on this level, so that's very good. So when this car is on level, when you lose like a little bit of oil, it will drop right away. So a small leak, after a week it will just sack away. So I had that in the beginning. It was standing 6 weeks and then it started to sweat a little bit. So I changed some bolts in the level valve in the back and now it's all perfect. So what is also a plan to do is, when I got all the fluids in it, I got the oil is already in, and when the radiator is back in, coolant fluid and transmission fluid needs to go in, and then I will fill up the gas tank with like 40 or 30 liters. Then I have a more logical weight in the car, and then I can have a look how much I have to take off the springs, because I want to put it completely down when there's no fluid in it. But yeah, I have to gamble a little bit with the spring rate of the car, and I can shorten them a little bit. So I have to have a look how that will work out. But that needs to be done before I'm even going to start the car, because when you start the car you want to drive a little bit, and I want to fix that all before I'm going to do. So that's it for this video, small update. Next video going to test all the outputs and inputs, so that will be a very nice one also for me, because it's the first time I look in the M-tune from Max ECU. So it will be interesting if I wired up everything correct. And yeah, then we are getting closer to the point that this car is going to see its first start. So the next episodes will be pretty interesting. So I hope you like this video. If there are any questions about my setup and you want to know something, let me know below the video. You can also see on the right corner my logo. You can click on it and you can go to my YouTube page or go to janespeedshop.com, and don't hesitate to ask. And thanks for watching, and see you for the next video. Bye bye.